you're hearing, like the yeah, like that's the same little like basically toy guitar. And then with Brainwashed, like those are both done on like a guitar that's like this big. And
Hey guys, James Wilson Taylor here for Rock Sound. Now, Waterparks out in the States at the minute on the Sad Summerfest tour. You've heard a couple new songs as well. I'm delighted to say, here to tell us all about it is Mr. Awsten Knight himself. How are you, man?
it's me.
It's you! The kicking's there. We never tire of it. How you doing, man? Whereabouts are you today, actually? It's still in the middle of sad summer, obviously. Whereabouts do I find you?
Ohio.
Okay. Nice, nice. I saw a bit of
Nobody in
the...
Ohio knows exactly where in Ohio they are. It's all just Ohio.
it's the Ohio dilemma, always,
But my
always.
my mom's coming through because she grew up in Ohio, so she's coming through. That'll be good.
Nice one, man. Yeah, no, I watched the live stream the other night. It was very, very impressive. It looks like, I mean, such a stacked lineup on that tour, man. It must be such a blast to be able to go out there and not just play these massive outdoor shows, but with a lineup like that that's really, really solid
Like
too.
Weezer, No Doubt, My Camp, System of a Down.
All the big
It's
guns,
been
all the big guns.
been insane.
No, it's been cool though, right? A lot of friends on there.
Yeah,
I guess some of the bands you must have done Warped Tour
yeah,
with and
yeah.
stuff back in the day as well, right?
I think we definitely know, or at least our acquaintances with, like pretty much everyone out here.
Yeah. Always
So
makes life
there
a
it
bit
is.
easier. Yeah, makes life a little
Yeah,
bit easier. And obviously, last time we saw you over here in the UK, massive, massive shows. Congrats on that, man. You know, Brixton
thank you.
absolutely went off. It was so much fun. So good to see how much you guys built that show up to fit those rooms. I know we talked about this before, but like you really
Yeah.
went in there knowing you had a room to fill. You did it. It
Oh
felt
yeah,
like a big, big show. Tell me a bit about, I guess, putting together that tour in particular.
man. Just like looking at the size of the rooms, I was like, okay, how big are the stages? Okay, what can we fit on this stage that's going to make it feel like kind of a different world, especially for London. I was like, this is like some historic shit. So when I found out we could have fire, I was just like, yeah,
Yeah,
oh
ticking a
yeah,
lot of boxes there. Yeah, the pyro energy, big
dude,
film
I want
stuff is
pyro
cool.
every show. I want to get burned up.
You're getting a taste for it now. This is it. The stadium
Yeah.
theatrics, man. We're building it up.
Oh,
It
it's
works.
it's a problem. Like I want crazy shit. I want to fly in on a string. I want like explosions.
You're going to be
Yeah.
riding that giant tennis ball by the end of this tour. I can see it. Just bouncing on like a space opera.
Hey, that's
Always
not a bad
thinking.
idea.
Always
It might
thinking, man.
deflate.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. Test it out. Test it out in
Well,
rehearsals. See
I'll
how it
try it in
goes.
Ohio.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Give the people what they want.
Yeah,
Um,
no one's here except for my mom. So
yeah, yeah. So exactly, that's the time to try things out. You're always going to get that
yeah,
support. It makes a lot of
right.
sense.
She'll be like,
Um,
"You're doing it."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at him go. Look at him bounce. It's going to work well.
Yeah.
Before we get into more of the new music stuff, one thing we do have to mention since the last time we kind of spoke, obviously Heartstopper. I mean, what an
Oh yeah.
incredible kind of lovely moment that is. You must already be seeing the kind of newer audience discovering Telephone in a new way. It's got to
Yeah.
be so, so nice for a track like that that obviously wasn't like a big direct single or anything, but suddenly getting this new wave
Yeah.
and this new love.
Dude, that's happened a few times on this album now, or on Fandom. Like where like non-singles have just randomly been like, swoop. It was funny because I found out like after it came out, I was like, oh man, a lot like I didn't really know exactly what it was. I was just like, yeah, somebody wants to use Telephone, go for it. And then when it came out, and like all our friends were like, I love Heartstopper. I was like, wait. So there's actually like already like so much crossover, and it made me look into it, and I was just like, oh wow, this is actually like such a sick thing. Like I didn't recognize the significance at first, but now I'm like, oh fuck,
It's
it's
got to be
really
a bit.
cool.
It's got to be a bit of a trip then, yeah. Actually, watching a series like that and then not knowing where it's gonna. I presume you didn't even know what
Yeah,
scene it was in or anything like that. It's got to be
yeah,
a really cool thing to see how they kind of
it
interpreted it,
was
right?
wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. It was really interesting. I was like, oh my god, it's still playing. Damn, I was psyched.
yeah.
Yeah,
They kept that
shout out
running.
Heartstopper for sure.
Yeah, nice to see that find a new audience, man. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, let's get into this new music, man. Let's start,
No,
of course. No, no. Why would you talk about that?
no.
Let's start with Funeral Grey. Now,
Sorry.
here's my thoughts on this. Here's what I want to say about this.
Yeah,
I feel like that is the best pop punk song you've written, and the
yeah,
irony is the reason why is because you're not a pop punk band anymore. It's like I can hear your approach to that sound, but
Yeah,
using all the stuff that you've been experimenting with in the last couple albums.
yeah,
It's slicker, it's got really interesting production choices and stuff. Like,
yeah,
clearly you've gone back and thought, particularly with Fandom and Greatest Hits, you've gone like,
yeah,
okay, that's what I learned there. Let's apply that to the pop punk sound, right?
yeah. Well, because that's the thing is, I mean, like, as much as like I've gotten over trying to like fight the label. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna say what they say. But at the end of the day, like that is still the first stuff that like any of us really loved. You know what I mean? Like as far as like music that we found on our own, like Good Charlotte, Green Day, Blink, like all that stuff. So at the end of the day, there's gonna be like that root in there. You know what I mean? Like that part of that's it's like part of that foundation. So I think being able to and I don't want this to come off wrong, but I feel like we like were able to kind of perfect it early on because I was like, okay, I've been writing songs since I was like fucking 12, like better be good at it at this point. So I mean, you know, there's stuff like Stupid for You and whatever. It's like I feel like objectively that's kind of like a perfect pop rock song. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And then I wanted to like try and like move forward, move past it, and learn a whole bunch of other shit. And now it kind of feels like we have like a more bird's eye view of like what each or how each sound works and how to make like perfect pieces. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what Funeral Grey is and some of the other stuff too.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because like I know there's been so much talk, and you know I'm bored of it myself, and all these chats about like, oh, pop punk's back. It never really went away, but you know what I mean. That's the sort of talk at the minute. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
the scene's kind of it's having this moment in a bigger mainstream way. But what
yeah,
I think is interesting with what the stuff that you guys put, that really is a modern sound of pop punk because you can hear that sort of pop radio sheen to it. And I mean that in a really
yeah,
positive way. Like it's
yeah,
particularly on Funeral Grey, I gotta say, like, that sort of dream pop middle eight and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. It just fits really nicely. I guess the question as well is, why was that the kind of choice for you guys in thinking, yeah, this is how we kick off an era? This is, I mean, I take it this is a very good sign of how the rest of the record's been
Yeah.
shaped already.
I feel like that one, I was just able to kind of picture, like, we don't necessarily write songs for, like, oh, how's it going to be live? But hearing that one, it was just like, oh my God, we have so many shows coming up and, like, a lot of outdoor summer shit and, like, just like, really big things. I was like, this one would be so fun. One, in front of a big ass crowd that knows it. And two, outdoor. Like, this is, like, such a, like, an outdoor feeling thing. And a lot of the album is. But, I don't know, it just felt so right. And I was like, that's like, it has every like mark that I wanted to hit. You know what I mean? I'm like, that chorus is insane. People can jump to it. It's gonna look so good outdoors. We have all these things coming up. It was just like, believe it or not, it was a hard choice, but I'm glad we made that one.
Yeah, definitely, and it sets the scene well because then also we see Self-Sabotage out there now as well, which
Yeah.
arguably has had an even bigger reaction. Congrats on 1 million streams, right, as of today,
Oh
as of
yeah,
literally
yeah,
time of
that just
recording.
happened, yeah.
That's a nice little moment. But
Yeah.
like again, you see the live reactions and everything. Again, talk about those live streams and stuff. People are going hard for that one in particular. It feels like
They
sort of
are.
instantly connecting and singing along, which has got to be nice.
Dude, it's so loud every time it gets to any of the what the fuck is wrong? I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. Like pretty like, oh my God, it's raining. I had no idea.
Oh, dude,
Beautiful.
is that what you want? That what you want for the outdoor shows? You want a bit of rain?
No, but I'm glad it happens because it doesn't really happen in California. So when I get to actually have it again,
I see. A little bit of a novelty. I mean, you must have got plenty of that when you're in the UK, to be fair, and get your fill of that. Yeah, some of that.
I don't know how to pick up the blinds. I'm stupid. Okay. But yeah, rainy is not ideal. Plus, my mom's coming here today. I don't want her to get rained on. But no, I mean, but yeah, funeral. Oh yeah, self-sabotage. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, I mean, both have just been really going off live. Like, and I'm always curious to see how new things actually wind up translating. Because sometimes there are songs where we're like, oh, that's gonna fucking go, and then it's like medium. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. It really can go either way because I'm trying to think. Like, I'm thinking about the set right now. Oh, there are just certain songs that like do a lot more in like a crowd setting than you think they would, and then some are like, oh, I wonder like why that doesn't necessarily like why aren't people like killing each other? It's bullshit.
Disappointing. Get your
Yeah,
ass in gear, crowd.
we played
Come on.
Magnetic and no one died. What?
I
Yeah,
knew that was the aim all along. I knew that was always the aim with that chin.
yeah,
It's interesting too the way Funeral Grey and Self-Sabotage really fit together, and also Brainwashed, which of course everyone's heard now, through live streams and all that kind of stuff. It feels like a really, really cohesive record. Not that the other ones weren't, but it was. Do you know what I mean? You always spoke about, particularly with Greatest Hits, actually, about how you wanted it to almost have loads of different feels. It almost felt like a
Yeah,
playlist at points in a really nice way because you're just trying
yeah,
so many different styles, and that was sort of the point of that record in a lot of ways.
right.
This feels like it's more moving towards this is a collection I kind of want you to hear together type vibe. Am I right in that?
You're definitely right in some ways. There are a lot of the album also has its own other kind of vibe that we haven't really shown yet. But yeah, I think Funeral Grey and Brainwashed were written one day apart and on the same shitty little $50 guitar. Like and that's like the final stuff in it too, like where you're hearing, like the yeah, like that's the same little like basically toy guitar. And then with Brainwash, like those are both done on like a guitar that's like this big, and and so it's really fun. But I mean, I think a lot of this album was approached more with guitar. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I think just because Greatest Hits was very like, I'm going to approach this with like keyboards and pads and like make some loops and just like freestyle over it, whatever, figure it out. But this one, it was more like I want to like touch shit and make some like very like it was more of like a tactile experience. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to like strum shit and be like ah, you know what I mean? And so I think a lot of this album is more guitar oriented than the last one.
Interesting. What do you think prompted that? Was it just that thing of okay, I've done this before, I want to try something different just to keep things interesting, or was there anything that kind of
Yeah,
prompted that?
I feel like being able to move forward with everything I've learned from like fandom and greatest hits, but then bring guitar through it and like kind of do it through that way instead of using like a synth or a cut vocal or whatever. Like basically taking everything I've learned through those albums and using like the more and like more of the foundation as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it definitely makes a lot of sense. We can definitely hear it so far. And we should mention as well, the other kind of big change ahead of this record, Fueled by Ramen, which is, what great
Yeah,
company to be keeping for a start. I know a lot of bands and artists that you admire,
not
obviously, on
bad.
that label, on that roster. Not bad at all. I mean, it must have felt like, I guess, a bit of a natural fit. It certainly made sense when it all got announced.
Yeah, well, like they flew down to LA and wanted to hear some of the music, and I was like, okay. And so they came through the studio, played them a few songs, like maybe like five of them, and they were just like, okay, well, would you want to be on our label? I'm like, and everyone's kind of looking. I'm like, maybe. And they're like, okay, all right. And then they left, and Benji's like, you said maybe, god damn it.
Keeping those cards close to your chest. Big
Yeah,
dogging them a little bit. I like that.
yeah. No,
Making those big.
they've been dope so far.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's like I say, it's a perfect fit, really, isn't it? You fit so
Yeah,
well on that roster, it just makes all the sense in the world. It really, really does.
yeah.
I see you've been teasing some of the music that's to come.
No, I haven't.
Hinting, yes, come on now. We've seen those guitar picks. You can't hide from me. Also teasing a couple of collabs on there as well. Should we play this game again? Who's on the record? Who are you going to tease for me? Come on, let's have a hint. I know you're not going to actually give me any names, but give me a hint at least.
One's a comedian.
Interesting. Okay, one of them's a comedian. How many
Yeah,
collabs actually on the record?
four or five. One of
Okay.
them, one of them, I got one of my favorite, like really heavy bands on it.
Now
Very
that's
stoked.
interesting. What?
Been a
What?
long time fan.
Okay, long time. So they've been around a minute then. This man. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. And is this like because I know obviously on the last record again the whole point was it's all be kind of mixed up together. So most of those were kind of, I mean, they were credited, but it wasn't like a collab. It was like, hey, let's kind of
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Is
yeah,
this like, are any of these straight up like duets or collabs? Is there vocal appearances, that kind of thing, or what?
yes. One
Okay,
of At least one of them is definitely
like a feature
like a
feature.
yeah.
Interesting.
Um, yeah.
Man, I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. We're going to see where this one goes. It's exciting times ahead, man. It's exciting times. Well, also
Yeah.
looking ahead in terms of other stuff here, you've got big live plans coming up. I know the MyChem
Mhm.
dates is going to
Yeah.
be that's something really, really special. And I know must mean an awful lot to all three of you guys,
Yeah.
really. I mean, we all know the
Definitely.
connections at this point, but you got to be excited for that particular moment. It's going to feel like a moment, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely. That's gonna
Nice.
be that's gonna be fucking scary.
Has Mikey given much advice yet?
No,
Oh man,
he's gonna throw us out there. We're gonna be like, oh fuck.
you got to
Like I
drag
don't know
him
what it's
out.
gonna. I don't know what it's gonna sound like. We've never played in like an arena before.
God, that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be. I feel like maybe all ears. You know what I mean? Like in-ear monitors or like who fucking knows?
Man, it's gonna be an exciting one. Though, I mean, what a special moment to
Yeah.
be have like your first arena show with a band like that. Obviously, with a member
Yeah.
in there who supported you guys so much as well over the years.
Yeah.
That's gonna be such a special kind of time.
It is. It's fucking awesome. And the other guys, I've met everybody but Ray at this point, and they've all just been so cool, like always. And all the Gerard fits and everything have been like so fucking inspiring. I'm just like, man, that's awesome. Like being able to switch it up every show and like it's not like they just have different purposes. You know what I mean? It's so many different characters, and they're not all necessarily like look at me because I'm beautiful. It's like there's like so much crazy shit in it, and I'm just like, man, I respect it so much.
Man, I was very lucky. I got to see a few of the shows, and it was just funny how they're just keeping the crowd on their toes because they know
Yeah,
that everyone in that audience has been watching online, figuring out what's going to happen because we love that band so much, and they're just
yeah,
constantly keeping you guessing. I love that.
it's so cool, and
Yeah,
the set switch ups are nuts.
dude, some amazing, amazing choices, some amazing deep
Yeah,
cuts in there so far. It's gonna be exciting. And then just announced again, time of recording this morning. This got announced. You're coming back over to the UK again. Talk about your stacked lineups. I mean, my God, you, me at six, the main, and yourselves, and Bears and Trees
yeah,
opening up as well. I mean, what an amazing, amazing lineup. Again, bands I'm sure that you've. I mean, certainly with the main, that must have been a Warped Tour crossover and all that kind of
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, the first time we went to Australia, we opened for the main for like a week.
Oh, great. Yeah. So old
Yeah,
friends coming back, and like again, that seems
yeah,
like a perfect fit to be opening up for a band like Yumi, who of course, again, very kind of similar territory. I think
yeah. Getting to play Ali Pally is gonna be nuts.
it's got to be another kind of bucket list venue for you at this point. You're doing the rounds in London now. You're ticking all those boxes.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we
Man,
are.
getting through it all, getting through it all. All right, man. Well, I mean, best of luck with the rest of this tour. Before I let you go, I guess I'll just kind of generally ask one kind of bigger question I know everyone's been asking. Tennis, talk to me. Is this just like a theme because I know you're good at tennis now? What's going on?
So much stuff that gets worked into like the visuals and the aesthetics and everything. It's stuff that I also like in real life.
Fair enough.
And so, I mean, things that I like in real life might naturally work themselves in and, have their reasons, have their, themes, metaphorical stuff, whatever, that'll get worked out eventually. But yeah, I mean, like pretty much as far back as like I can remember, like, I mean, like the Not Warriors video, like those are all my favorite flowers in real life. Like, you know what I mean? But, yeah, like we'll get there.
We'll
We'll
get there.
get there when we get there when we get there.
Hey, I like it, man. I want promotional tennis balls at the shows. This is what I want. That's
We did sell those.
Wait, you say? I did not see those at a merch table. I would have definitely been buying
James
them.
Wilson
I
Taylor.
know. I'm getting into my tennis now, man. I would have been all about that. That's a shame. I need
Okay,
to get
we'll have to
myself
make
some of
more.
those.
We'll have
Yeah,
to make more.
yeah. Definitely want to get
We
my
can
hands
do
on some
that.
of those, dude. Absolutely.
We'll
That'd
throw
be
the
cool.
album name on them.
Oh, it's a great idea. A great idea. Give the
Yeah.
people what they want with the merch. This is all
Yeah.
good. Nice one, man. Dude, it's such a pleasure as always, man. Congrats on the music. Look forward to the
Thank
album.
you.
We will catch up again soon, I'm sure. All right.
We will.
Good to see you, man. Awsten Knight, everybody.